Good afternoon and welcome to Smith Field on the sprawling and beautiful campus of Episcopal Academy here in Newtown Square just outside of Philadelphia. Matt Lombardo and Bill Gallagher with you here on this ideal day for Saturday high school football action at Episcopal Academy, one of the more historic rivalries you will ever see, as Episcopal the Churchmen entering at 8-2, 3-1 in the Interact, take on the Haverford Fords, who are 5-5, 3-1 in the Interact. And Bill, today is not only sweater day on the line between these two storied and historic programs, but it's also first place day, championship day in the Interact, because if Malvern Prep loses, the winner of this game takes home the title, and they are at least guaranteed a share of the championship depending on that outcome. What a great day for football.
Exactly, Matt. And I think that if you preseason, if you talked about who would be here, I think certainly maybe Episcopal would be one of the two teams that you would say because of the winning the championship last year, and the other one would have to be Malvern. I don't think Haverford would be in the picture, and I think Coach Murphy did a great job getting a fairly young team to this point. So it should be an unbelievable game. I think I'm expecting a lot of offense. It's great weather for offense too. So let's see what happens. Championship on the line.
And it's certainly a beautiful day for the 104th meeting between these two schools. And you look around the stands, they are filling up. There's the boys soccer game taking place down the hill. We know that those fans will soon be making their way in here, packing Smith Field to the gills. But not only that, we were talking about this before the game, Bill. It is a recruiting day for both schools. This is your showcase game for all of your potential students at both Haverford and at Episcopal.
Absolutely. You know, I think, Matt, that I get the feeling that both of these programs are kind of run like they're Division III college teams. They're both, the staffs are phenomenal on both sides of the field here, and the recruiting process, as you mentioned, does go on. They're recruiting from the CYO leagues. They're recruiting from the PAL leagues. And you, as you mentioned, there are some recruits on both sidelines that are here that to watch their potential, maybe future high school teams playing.
And Bill, you want offense. You're crying for offense today on a beautiful day, but as we're here, it's always stingy in Philadelphia. Haverford coming into the game, as we said in the open, 5-5, 3-1 in league play. They can clinch at least a share of the Interact with a win. Each of these teams can as well. For the Fords, their only loss came to Chestnut Hill after leading 21-7 at the half. So you know they have that sour taste in their mouth still coming off of that loss. And Episcopal, they're coming in with an 8-2 record with their losses to Malvern last week and of course to Lawrenceville. So both these teams, a lot on the line this afternoon.
Absolutely, and again, I think the Episcopal loss occurring just last week, was a big loss. You know, it wasn't like they weren't a close game. They were not in the same field with Malvern, particularly during the second half. And Haverford had to be disappointed after defeating Malvern to go to Chestnut Hill and lose that game to a team which probably they thought that they were going to have a win, or if not an easy time with. But this league is so small, but it's so competitive that you can't take anybody for granted week in and week out.
Just under 5 minutes to kick off. It's time for our Strive Spotlight, and today it's on Anthony Feliciani. He's, of course, the standout running back and linebacker for Episcopal. Tremendous team leader, not only on the gridiron, he's also the captain of the baseball team as well. Leading rusher on the team. He is just having a downright dominant season. 759 rushing yards coming into today, an average of nearly 6.5 yards per carry, and 13 touchdowns. So a big year so far for Feliciani, and of course he is part of that epic 1-2 punch with D. Barley, who comes in with 660 yards rushing on the year. Those two certainly lead the offensive attack.
Anthony is an unbelievable athlete. He's a determined runner. He's not real big and he's not real fast. He does possess some speed, but he's a very determined runner. Usually the first guy does not bring him down, and once he gets in the open field, even though it's not like breakaway speed, he's still tough to catch.
And real quickly, the Strive Spotlight for Haverford. Brendan Burke, he's the quarterback, really stepped into his role this year, and he's one of the reasons why the Fords have had such a tremendous turnaround after starting the year 0-3. They're gathering for the coin toss at midfield. We're just moments away from kickoff here at Smith Field on the campus of Episcopal. It appears as though Haverford has won the toss and will receive. So the Fords will get the first look at their offense to start this game. The sweater being displayed there at midfield.
Right now in the possession of Haverford School. So we'll see what Episcopal can do about that. And you mentioned Brendan Burke, and it's an interesting story that halfway through the season he had a couple of injuries, wasn't playing as well as he thought he would, probably due to the injury, and he steps back in at Malvern. He steps back in at halftime and plays the second half and brings Malvern back with a couple long touchdown passes and has been on the field ever since.
And as we get ready for kickoff, it will be Ryan Wayland handling the kickoff duties for Episcopal. He's also the quarterback. 1,858 passing yards on the year, 16 touchdowns. Also mobile enough to have 11 rushing yards so far this year.
Thank you very much. Continue to stand for the Episcopal Academy Vocal Ensemble and the Haverford Notables with our national anthem. The Episcopal Academy Vocal Ensemble and the Haverford Notables.
There, of course, was your joint national anthem, and we are just moments away from kickoff here at Smith Field that is just packed to the gills, Bill Gallagher, on this rivalry Saturday afternoon. Keys to the game for both sides. What's it going to take home the sweater and the share of the title?
Well, I think Haverford all season long in their wins have lived off of turnovers and also big plays from their offense. They usually do not march the ball down the field if they don't have a big play somewhere along the line. And again, those turnovers really helped them. So I think it's important for them to continue that trend if they expect to win. And as far as from Episcopal sideline, I think they know that. I think they're going to attempt to run the ball up the middle a lot and test the run defense of Haverford School. But again, with Ryan Whalen and his a core of young receivers, but pretty quick receivers, guys that can catch the ball, I think they're going to look to have a better, more of a balance of run and pass.
Certainly going to be interesting to watch. Moving from the right to the left is Haverford School, the left to the right, in their white jerseys, white pants, and maroon helmets. And moving right to left on your video screen, the Episcopal School, the Churchmen, in their navy blue jerseys, white helmets, and white pants. Happy you could join us here on Strive Network and on YouTube as well. One of the more historic rivalries you'll ever see, the 104th meeting between Haverford School and Episcopal Academy. Happy to have you here with us, just seconds away from kickoff here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. You couldn't ask for a better day for football. Wayland up, and he kicks, and we are off and running here at Smith. The ball is fielded at the 10, the 15, the 20. Taking it up the field for Haverford and he's stopped there at the 30-yard line. That's where Haverford will take over, 1st and 10. What do we expect to see out of Haverford today, Bill, outside of their star running back, Phil Polkwe, who's up for another big game?
It's real interesting, Matt, that they started the season in more of a power eye type of thing because of Philip Poquet, who could be, when he's healthy, one of the best backs in the area. And they switched to this, what you're seeing now, you're seeing the spread offense, because they thought they could be more versatile.
He flips it to Poquet, who slips in the backfield, cuts to the left, and he turns the corner. He's at the 30, the 35, and pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Phil Poquet picks up, we'll call it 7, and it's going to be 2nd and 3 for Haverford. Bill, it looks like they're running a tempo offense here to get things started.
No, they're going in it, and I think they're going to be as much as Phil Poquet takes them. If you saw on that play, he starts to the right and cut way back to the left. I've seen him do that many a time, where you don't know where he's going to go. He's not like a regular runner that's going to be north-south all the time.
Burke in the shotgun, flanked by Poquet on his right. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 on the far side. He's calling out the signals here. 11:43 to go in the first. He drops back. He's looking, fires on the near side, and that's complete and moving good enough for a first down into Episcopal territory. That was hauled in by Michael Solomon, his first catch of the day, and it's good for a Ford's first down.
Yeah, they were in that trips open formation where they had the 1 receiver and the 3 the other side, and to the 3 receiver side, they just snuck one little guy out into the flat and left them there about 5 yards deep.
1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. The Fords now lining up, same formation, 1 wide receiver on the near side, 3 on the far. Burke in the shotgun, flanked by Poquet. Looks as if Episcopal's in their standard 4-3 defense. High snap, hauled in by Burke. He keeps it, picks up about 5 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5. Haverford now very efficient, moving the ball both on the ground and through the air.
Again, Brendan Burke, with switching to this spread offense, Coach Murphy was saying that he's more versatile. They were running that option to the right.
Burke once again in the shotgun. 2nd and 6 coming up here for Haverford on their first drive of the game. Burke has 1 completion that went to Solomon. Poquet has 1 carry on the day so far. 10:38 remaining in the first quarter. We are scoreless between Haverford and Episcopal here on an ideal day for football at Smith Stadium. Burke with a high snap. Yeah. He bobbles it and still moves forward. He manages to shake himself free. He's at the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. He's going to go, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and goal for Brendan Burke. That's a 42-yard sprint on a broken play and a high snap there, Bill. Didn't expect to see that one at the start of the play.
You know, I've seen them had trouble with this earlier in this midway through the season. Like I said, they switched to this offense about halfway through the season, which is risky, but Coach Murphy felt that was the best thing for them. So these snaps always almost exclusively in shotgun would wonder what they're going on with the snaps.
Jumbo set here on the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for Haverford. Burke now steps back into the shotgun, in motion now. It's a handoff and running in, and he is stopped short of the goal line on a trick play there along the goal line there, Bill, and it's going to bring up 2nd and goal from about the 1-inch line.
Yeah, that was the speed sweep. They brought Christian Jubilato, one of their best athletes, and brought him in motion and handed him the ball on the sweep going left.
Burke under center, and he sneaks it, and he is in for a touchdown. Haverford takes an early 6-0 lead. 9:49 to go here in the first quarter. They'll have to applaud the effort from Brendan Burke there, moving the ball with his arm and his legs before that 1-yard touchdown plunge.
Yeah, again, they had still pretty much in the spread formation and, didn't have many people in the box there, and he just took it in for the 1-yard sneak and good.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and it is good. And with 9:49 to go here at Smith Field, Haverford takes a 7-0 lead on a drive that was engineered by quarterback Brendan Burke. 2 completions, a couple of scrambles, and a run by the big running back, Phil Poquet. And Bill, that's about as fish in a sword as you could ask for out of Haverford on their first drive.
Well, we mentioned before about that they've been a big play offense, and we didn't intentionally say it was a big broken play offense, but that's exactly what happened. The high snap to Brendan, I think it's kind of set the defensive lineman rushing a little bit past him, and so when he took off with it, he was already after 3 yards. He was beyond all the Episcopal defensive linemen, and he showed good speed and good athletic ability getting the ball down so far.
Here's the replay of the big scramble from Brendan Burke. He turned the corner, and he just struck the daylight and almost ran all the way in for what would have been a 48-yard touchdown, but was pushed out of bounds. Really a game-saving tackle there by Julio De Polone, who caught up with him and pushed him out of bounds. Brendan Burke with a great drive. He's the senior captain of this football team. 11 touchdowns passing on the year. He now has 4 rushing. Here's the kickoff for Haverford. And it's a fair catch called for and made by Anthony Feliciani at about the 47-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And, of course, it'll be a heavy dose of Feliciani and tight end Evan Butts, Bill, for this Episcopal offense.
A little pooch kick by Haverford. I think they wanted to keep the ball away from Christian Feliciani and his speed. They've been returning pretty well. And, let's see what happens here if how Episcopal decides to attack Haverford.
Backs in the eye. Wayland hands it off to Feliciani, and he hits the pile, pushing it forward to about the 42-yard line. We'll call it second and about 4 or 5 for Episcopal here.
That was just a power off tackle right. It's one of their staple plays that they run. Pull the backside guard and head off tackle to right, and Anthony hits that hole very well.
Ryan Wayland in the shotgun. He's flanked by 2 running backs. It's Feliciani and Barley in the backfield. 2 receivers set. Second, and we'll call it 4. He hands it off now. That's Cody Russell up the middle, and he appears to have enough for a first down. Cody Russell with a 4-yard gain moves the chains for the Churchmen.
That was just their inside zone play. And Cody, he's like the third head of this 3-headed snake, if you want to say, with the running. You have Anthony and you have D. Barley, and then you can't forget Cody Russell, big, strong runner.
Entering this game, the 3-headed monster combined for 1,700 rushing yards for Episcopal coming in today. 1st and 10 from the 45. Shotgun for Wayland. He gets the snap and pitches it to Feliciani, who turns the corner off tackle, and he is brought down about 2 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 2nd and 2 for Episcopal coming up here.
Just a quick toss sweep to Anthony going around the left side. I thought maybe he had a little more blocking outside, but he is the type runner that likes to go north and south and hit it up in there for a real nice gain.
Ball spotted at the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3. Backs in the I formation. Wayland under center. 2 wide receivers set. He hands it off. That's Barley. D. Barley off right guard. Pushes the pile forward. That's enough for another first down. They cross to the 45-yard line, and a Churchman first down. They just continue to move the chains on the ground here, Bill Gallagher.
It's good to see D in the backfield there. I know he's been nursing a hamstring for a couple of weeks now, but he looked like it wasn't bothering him on that play.
Shotgun formation, Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Feliciani. Russell in motion. They hand it off now, and off right tackle, and being tackled is Christian Feliciani, the younger brother of Anthony Feliciani. Turned the corner there, struck to the sidelines, and it will bring up 2nd, and we'll call it 4 from the 39-yard line.
Yeah, the younger brother, King Felice, as he likes to call himself, he's more of an outside. He's going to try to get the corner on you all the time, where Anthony is going to try to run you over a little bit more.
7-0 Haverford, 7:27 remaining in the first quarter. Episcopal moving the football now into Haverford territory. Into the shotgun is Wayland. Wayland takes the snap. He hands it off. And finding nowhere to run there was Anthony Feliciani. Looks like he might have lost a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd, and we'll call it 5.
Yeah, on that play, they started with Evan Butts tight and then walked him out after they came out over the ball. And I think what they were looking to do is split Haverford's defense and run the ball up the middle. But I think it was actually a pass rush from Haverford that got him caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Ford's defense getting their student section on their feet. Big 3rd down play here early for Episcopal. Whalen gets the snap, and he hands it to Feliciani, who pushes the pile forward. Not sure if he'll have enough. We'll wait for the spot here. Looks as if he was brought down at the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and inches. Wayland on the sideline, Bill. It appears that the Churchmen are going to go for it here. Critical 4th and inches play here coming up for Episcopal.
Well, that was the same power play that they had run to the right a couple plays earlier. This time they ran it to the left. And I certainly think that they feel that any time that they can get a foot.
Shotgun formation, Wayland in the shotgun, flanked by Feliciani in the backfield. He hands it to Feliciani, and he dives forward. We'll wait for the spot. He looks as though he has enough.
Very close to a first down.
We'll see where the officials spotted here. Haverford saying no.
I'm surprised they gave the ball to Anthony instead of like the Cody or the D. I wonder if D still hurt, D Barley that is. But this is very close, Matt.
We're going to wait for a measurement here. I think he might have enough, but the Haverford defense, they were saying no.
Time out for a measurement.
What do you say here, Bill? You think he picked it up?
You know, can you ask me in about 10 seconds? Here we go.
Let's see if we can get a measurement here.
And they
it's
look
gonna
like
be
it's short.
Haverford.
Just short.
Haverford.
Just short.
The Fords with a big momentum swinging 4th down stop here. They'll take over with good field position on their own 35-yard line as the Episcopal drive stalls. Big stop for the Haverford defense.
Absolutely a big stop. You know, we talked about their offense having big plays. That's certainly a big play from their defense to stop them on 4th and short.
Brendan Burke, of course, got the scoring started. It's 7-0 with 6:02 remaining in the first quarter. 2-yard sneak for a touchdown after a big 46-yard run to get them in position. We'll see what they can do here. Their second possession with the ball, beginning with 6:02 in the first. High snap. He hands it off now to Poquet. Phil Poquet turns the corner. He's at the 45, pushes forward to midfield. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, and he is pushed out of bounds by Michael Gelasso, but it might be coming back as there are a pair of flags in the backfield. We'll wait and see on the penalties, but if it stands, huge run there for Poquet.
Yeah, that's their pistol formation where they come out and basically just running an ISO or a power from it, but the lead blocker really got his hands around and outside the body, and flags were flying everywhere. So that will be coming back.
This looks like it's coming back in the area of holding. So a big play for Haverford, erased on a holding penalty. That's the kind of play, though, if it stood, that would have been significant momentum their way, as you see Poquet on the replay storming down the sidelines, and the game-changing play pushing him out of bounds there by the defensive back of Episcopal.
You know, Coach Murphy was saying he has been playing at about 70%, and he thinks he's about 90% today. He certainly looked like it on that play. Again, he could be one of the best backs in the area when healthy.
5:49 to go here in the first quarter. Haverford leads Episcopal 7-0. 1st and 23 for Haverford. They're in the shotgun. It's Burke. Burke flanked there by Reginald Harris. He hands it off now to Poquet. He turns the left corner, shakes one defender, and is ultimately brought down in the backfield. Looks like he lost one there, Bill.
Yeah, I don't think they fooled Episcopal with that play at all. They had flanked Philip Poquet out to the right and brought him back in motion. And I think when you don't see Philip in the backfield, you're, as a defensive player, I think you're happy that he's not back there. He's back there right now.
2nd and 23 for Haverford. They have 4 wide receivers, 3 split here on the near side, 1 on the far. Poquet in the backfield, flanked by Burke. Burke now surveying the Episcopal defense. They're just staying back. No reason to blitz here. Poquet now goes in motion. 4 wide receivers on the near side. Burke drops. He looks. That ball's batted down. Tipped at the line of scrimmage by Episcopal's number 59. Big deflection there, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 23 for Haverford. Big defensive stand here so far, Bill, for Episcopal after giving up that long run.
Certainly that penalty really changed things with the field position and everything else, and now they're 3rd and 20. But they're again in this bunch formation where they have the 3 receivers bunched to the right and a single receiver to the left, who they usually, when they see single coverage, like to go back to that.
Burke in the shotgun, flanked by Poquet. He gets the snap. He's looking. It's a pitch to Poquet. He is immediately brought down big stop there by Austin Morgan. He read that little flip pass, and he went and he made the stop.
What a difference a penalty can make. You know, instead of Haverford having the ball down at the 5, now they're punting from their own 30. Great job by Episcopal's defense to hold them there.
Burke now on to punt for Haverford. Back deep to receive is Christian Feliciani for Episcopal. 7-0 Haverford, 4:24 remaining. That ball is up and away. Feliciani says, poison, poison, get away, and that ball drops. It takes a Haverford bounce into Episcopal territory, and it'll be downed at the 38-yard line. That's where the Churchmen will take over, trailing 7-0. Any early impressions, Bill, from these two teams after their first couple of offensive possessions?
No, I think it's exactly what we spoke about pre-game about Episcopal trying to mix it up a little bit, and Haverford hoping for a big play from Poquet or perhaps from Brendan Burke, their quarterback. They got that on the first series. They actually got that on the second series, but the penalty brought everything back.
Whalen now in the shotgun. Single setback, 3 wide receivers, 2 bunched up here on the near side. In the backfield, it's D. Barley. Whalen takes snap, hands off to Barley. He rumbles forward to the 41-yard line. And we have a late flag coming in. Looked like a late hit. Looked like a late hit there at the end of the play. A little bit of extracurricular going on Sweater Rivalry Day, Bill.
Exactly. I mean, D. Barley hits it in there and makes a real tough run. And people are trying to help him get that extra yard, but that he's fighting for. But unfortunately, it must have come after the whistle a little bit. So Episcopal will be penalized on this play.
Looks like a personal foul against the Churchmen. That will back them up. 2 very costly penalties in the first 4 offensive possessions here, Bill. You had the holding penalty in the backfield of Haverford on their last possession that backed them up 3rd and 20. And here you have Episcopal with the unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. Another big penalty moves you back, and rather than being a very manageable 2nd and about 4, you're looking at 2nd and about 20 here.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit trying to be a little bit too aggressive. Both teams are feeling it a little bit about the rivalry and things and the everything that's online.
Wayland in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He flips it. And moving forward is Cody. And it is Russell rumbling and bumbling his way forward, picking up some of that yardage that was lost. Cody Russell with a big run there. And it brings up a somewhat manageable 3rd and 11 for Episcopal. And they're wasting no time getting back to the line of scrimmage, going into a bit of a tempo offense here. Whalen now in the backfield, shotgun formation. He fakes the handoff to Feliciani, throws it over the side of the field. That's Butts. That is the big tight end, Evan Butts, hauling it in. He'll be short of a first down, but it sure helps the field position battle there, Bill.
Right. Now, Episcopal is going to have to punt the ball, but they did come from, from a 3rd and 2nd and 21 up here where they brought the ball almost to midfield. Nice catch by Evan. Went up high. Ryan seems to always know that when it's Evan, he can throw the ball up high to him and he can make the catch.
2:44 remaining in the first quarter. Haverford leads Episcopal 7-0. Churchmen about to punt. It is up in the air. It's a high end-over-end punt. Fair catch called for, and it will take a Churchman bounce down at about the 28-yard line. And that's where Haverford will take over 1st and 10, leading this game 7-0, Bill. And if you're the Fords, what do you need to do here to try to rebuild some of that momentum you had on the first drive?
Well, I think they got to move the ball. They got to take advantage of it. It's not bad field position, starting at the 33 or so. One of these teams has got to start winning the field position instead of the ball being in the middle of the field all the time, giving the offense the opportunity to run or throw. And it certainly looks like we're looking at this again. They're out with the trips open is Haverford School in their first play.
Burke in the shotgun, triple wide receivers down on the near side, 1 on the far. Poquet in the backfield. He, of course, over 700 rushing yards now on the season. It's a quick pass over now on the far sideline that's hauled in and complete.
I think that pass is not a bad pass when it's a little bit further. That was to the single receiver side, and then he just ran a quick hitch out there to Doc Sakin, who they're just expecting maybe should just be able to beat the corner one-on-one.
We'll probably see that bubble screen again later in the game, Bill, the way that was set up. Burke now. Go ahead.
Particularly from the short side of the field, from a hash mark, that plays a lot easier to defend because you're not out there on an island too much by yourself, the corner that is.
Burke in the shotgun. He moves Poquet to his left. 2nd and 8, high snap. Burke back, looking, firing over the middle, and it is caught. Hauled in there by Noah Lehman. That's his 10th catch of the year. Puts him over 115 yards receiving, and it's good for another Haverford first down.
Yeah, another pass to the trips. They also looked like they had Solomon open out here in the flat, but it looked like he really put the ball right in there amongst the crowd. 3 or 4 Episcopal defenders right there, but put that pass right in there, right where it had to be.
Burke gets the signal. Shotgun formation once again. Trips to the far side. Single receiver to the near side. Poquet in the backfield. Episcopal might be showing blitz here. High snap. Handoff to Poquet. Cuts back in the backfield, and he is stormed in the backfield. Gang tackle led by Evan Butts. Butts does it on both sides, offense and defense.
I think John Menicosi got in there and kind of disrupted everything in the backfield. Doesn't get credit for the tackle, but had a lot to do with it, with Evan following him up.
2nd and 13 for Haverford. 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Brendan Burke getting the signal from the sidelines. He's looking, trying to build up that momentum here for the Haverford offense, and they look about content to wait and get the right signal call in here with 28 seconds to go. He fakes the handoff to Poquet, rolls to his right, looking, firing, and it's caught. Complete. Noah Lehman, his 2nd catch on this drive. It's good for another Haverford first down. Episcopal 38-yard line, and they're just very efficiently, Bill, moving the ball down the field with Burke going back to that Noah Lehman connection.
That's the same play we'd seen earlier when they had Philip Poquet out wide, brought him in motion, and this time they just ran some play action off it. So it's a good call by Haverford School.
10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Haverford. They're just going to let this thing tick on down to the end of the quarter, and that's what will happen here. Haverford leading Episcopal 7-0 after the first quarter of play, and Episcopal just seems like they're trying to find a way to react to this very efficient Haverford offense.
Yeah, so far they're really the things that Haverford showed early in the first couple series. They're running play action off of that stuff, and they're catching Episcopal leaning forward a little bit to defend the run, particularly when the ball's being faked to Phillip. So good job by Haverford School.
They certainly have been moving the ball well offensively. Brendan Burke with the 2-yard touchdown plunge. There was led up to by a 46-yard scramble by Brendan Burke. Defensively there for Episcopal, Bill, what do they need to do to not only limit Poquet, who they've kind of bottled up early, but try to contain Burke, who's hurt them both with his legs and with his arms so far today?
Well, exactly. I don't think it's anything that Episcopal's defense has not failed to execute themselves. I think you had the broken play by Brendan for that first series, and then he made a real nice pass on a player that looked like he was surrounded by Episcopal players, but Brendan did throw that ball right in and completed it. So I think the Episcopal's defense is doing fine so far. You know, it's a good game, a lot of running. First quarter flew by.
Yes, it did. 7-0 Haverford is the score. We'll get things started here momentarily in the second quarter. The 104th meeting between Haverford School and Episcopal Academy. You've been around your fair share of these, Bill. Nothing beats a day like today, though.
Exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's a big series. I know both teams do a lot of the Spirit Week things throughout the first week, the week prior leading up to this.
Burke now shotgun 1st and 10. Bad snap. He bobbles it, tries to hand it off to Poquet, and he is met immediately in the backfield by Mike Watkins with the stop. That'll bring up 2nd down. A lot of broken plays so far for Haverford in the run game.
Well, it's that snap that you need. You know, it's a lot more difficult than people think to just get that back there, particularly when you have to go block somebody after you.
Burke fakes the handoff, and he fires it complete to Noah Lehman. Lehman, that's his third catch of the game. Burke really realizing that Noah Lehman connection early on.
Well, there's you just saw one of the advantages that it looked like Episcopal would get to him, but being in the shotgun and being back already, when you take that 3-step drop and release the ball quickly, you can get that receiver doing the 4 and 5 yard little stop pattern and hit them easily.
3rd and 4 coming up for Haverford. Big play for both teams here. Episcopal needs a stop on defense to try and swing some of the momentum back into their favor. Burke with the high snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, and he's running, and he is hauled. No, he breaks the tackle along the sidelines, and second effort looks like he's still going to be about 1.5 yards short. Good effort there by the Episcopal Academy defense, Bill. Not only to make initial contact, but not allow him to use his quick burst after contact to get that first down.
You know, again, they were faking to Poquis going to the right, and then Brendan was coming back to the left with the ball. But I think a replay would show that he didn't spend enough time with the fake. It was too quick, and Episcopal was not fooled. They knew that Phillip didn't have the ball right away.
4th and 4 coming up. Haverford going for it. Poquis, the single setback, shotgun formation. Burke waits for the snap. Episcopal showing blitz up the middle. He drops back, and he's going to keep it. He's at the 25-20, 18. He's at the 15. Jukes a defender there, and he is brought down at about the 13-yard line. Another big run for Brendan Burke, who had the 46-yard scamper earlier on, setting up a touchdown, and a crucial 4th down conversion with his legs here.
That was a beautifully designed play from Haverford School. To the trip side, they brought the right tackle down and trapped Episcopal's defensive end and ran a quarterback trap with that play.
1st and 10 from the Episcopal 12-yard line. Haverford can get a first down at the 2. Shotgun formation. Burke fakes the handoff again and rolls to his left. He's looking, he fires, it's caught, and it is hauled in for a touchdown. Noah Lehman along the sidelines tried to shake a defender. It looked like he might have been pushed out of bounds, but he kept fighting, and second effort, he converted on that 12-yard touchdown. It's the second of the day for Burke. 1 rushing and now 1 passing.
That was a little waggle play. Again, faking the ball to the right. Brendan keeping the ball to his left. Not an easy pass to complete from a right-hander drifting out to his left side.
Ball is spotted. The kick is up, and it is no good. The extra point is missed wide to the left, and with 9:34 remaining in the first half, Bill, Haverford leads Episcopal 13-0. And that's a momentum killer there for Episcopal, who thought they had them stopped on 3rd and short. Then you have the conversion from Burke to get the first down, keeping it all by his lonesome, and then the 12-yard touchdown pass to Noah Lehman. Big play there to extend the lead to now a 2-score game, 13-0 in favor of Haverford.
You know, sometimes you wonder when you're playing and having as good a year as Episcopal did last year, and then rolling along this year with a wonderful record, and all of a sudden getting blitzed by a team like Malvern the week before this game. You start, wondering, do we really still believe in each other? Do we believe in our abilities to do this? And then Haverford comes out and jumps on you 13-0. This will be a real character test for Episcopal to see how they do from here on out, how they respond to getting, if you would, smacked in the face again after last week.
They trail 13-0, 9:34 remaining here in the first half. Take a look at the coaches. Todd Fairley, it's his 5th year here at Episcopal, 3rd year as head coach, 21-9 on the year. And, of course, he led the Episcopal Academy to a 10-0 undefeated season last year, which was good enough to capture the Interact Championship. The ball is spotted, the kick is away, it is hauled in there by Julio de Pulon. Excuse me, that's Feliciani. Christian Feliciani tried to juke with the ball. He ended up being tackled at the 15. That's where the Churchmen will take over, 1st and 10, deep in their own territory, Bill.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Brendan Walker. He really showed a lot of speed coming down on that coverage. Christian just didn't get a chance to really get started because he has some speed of his own. But let's see what happens. This is a big series, I think, for Episcopal Academy. I think it's really important that they move the ball, if not score.
Ryan Whalen now under center. He steps back into the shotgun, hands it off to Feliciani. He moves forward, pushes the pile, picks up about 4. That should bring up a second and about 4 or 5, it appears, for Episcopal.
That shows me a little bit about the confidence that the coaching staff has in these guys, that they're settled down. They're just going to do what they come to do. They just going to run the ball, and then maybe some play action off of that. But they didn't feel like they had to go up top right away.
Wayland in the backfield, flanked by D. Barley. He's the single setback shotgun snap. It's handed off to Barley. Barley moves to his left, tries to push off guard, and he's met by a gaggle of Haverford Fords. He might have picked up 1 or 2, and that sets up 3rd and 3 for the Churchmen.
That's the second play in the row that they went up the middle. And I know they switched John Minicozy, who was an all-league center last year, who's been playing tackle most of the year. They switched him to center. I think they must seen something that they can run the ball up the middle, and that's the second try. So let's see what happens 3rd and short.
Feliciani in the backfield, Wayland in the shotgun. 1 wide receiver near side, 2 on the far, going in motion now. They hand it off to Feliciani, and he is moving his feet just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up 1, and they're going to give him 2. Good enough for another Episcopal first down. They're moving the chains here, and that was critical for them, Bill, because their offense has struggled the last 2 possessions. They've got the first down, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. One of those typical runs from Anthony Feliciani, straight ahead, keeping his feet going and picking up the first down.
Wayland in the shotgun, Feliciani in the backfield. He gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking, firing over the middle to Butts, who hauls in the catch in double coverage, and he breaks free. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. They're not going to catch him. And going in for the score is Evan Butts. Evan Butts, the future Virginia Cavalier, hauls it in double coverage and storms down the field, but it looks like it's going to be coming back on a penalty.
You know, Evan has he just does this all the time. No, they're calling it on the defense. I mean, there was pushing by both sides. Evan's a big, strong kid, and it always looks like when Ryan throws the ball up in the air, he just seems like he just naturally, like that left arm comes out, and it looked like it came out there, but evidently the Haverford player was at fault also, and they called it against him. Evan takes it in for the score. Great catch.
Very athletic catch in double coverage, and then the yards after the catch, Bill, might have been what impressed me the most. Episcopal now going for 2 here, and they're going to call a timeout to think about it. They're going to think about this one, down 13-6 with 7:36 remaining in the first half. But what more can you say about Evan Butts? Committed to Virginia. He'll be a Virginia Cavalier. Caught that pass in double coverage at about the 40-yard line. And that breakaway speed was something you don't typically see out of tight ends.
No, I mean, I can remember people talking about him when he was down at the Penn camp where a lot of these Interact schools go, and they timed them down there, and they said just people were lined up watching Evan run his 40 and how big he was and how strong he looked, but how quickly he got the 40 yards accomplished. And I think that was Haverford School calling the timeout. They were a little confused by Episcopal's formation, which I hadn't seen in a long time either, but so I don't know why they would be going for 2. Haverford has missed that extra point earlier, so it's a 7-point game right now. So kicking the extra point, and I think they're sending Ringwald out now to do just that.
Might have been trying to force them into taking that time out, Bill. A very strategic move made by Episcopal head coach Todd Fairley, and they will line up for the extra point. Ringwald now the kicker, trying to pull this to within a 1-score game. The ball is spotted. Kick is up, and it is. They're going to wave it off. Looks like there was a penalty before the kick and offsides against Haverford. So that timeout accomplished virtually nothing, Bill.
Well, you know this would be interesting. You have an offside against the defense on an extra point. Ball's at the 3. Do you put the ball at the 1.5 and go for 2, figuring you can only have a 1.5 yards to go? If not, I mean, I used to always just leave the ball where it was, just because you're kicking from the 10, left everything the same. But they're gonna accept the penalty, move it up 1.5 yards, and still line up to kick it again.
Ringwald ball spotted up, and it is good. Kick is good from Ringwald on the extra point, following the touchdown from Evan Butts, and it's now Haverford 13, Episcopal 7. Both of these offenses going to their key players early on. You have Butts and Wayland working that connection for Episcopal, and we've seen a heavy dose of Brendan Burke so far for Haverford.
Well, we mentioned that was a key series for the Episcopal. Not only, physically to move the ball a little bit and get it, but maybe get the 7 points, but for their psyche. Again, after last week's blowout and then coming out 13-0, that was a real gut check, and Episcopal's players responded.
You're having a look now at Haverford head coach Mike Murphy. It's his 9th year. He's 24-19 in the Interac, and he led Haverford to a share of the league title in 2009 for the first time since 1971. So a very historic effort out of Mike Murphy early on in his tenure here at Haverford School.
Yeah, Mike coached here at Episcopal Academy. Going back, I guess, 9 years, he was the offensive coordinator here. And when the head coach, Rick Knox, left for his alma mater, Chestnut Hill Academy, Mike left and also took over the head coaching job at Haverford School. He's been doing a real nice job ever since.
Episcopal getting ready to kick it away. It will be Ringwald. This game now 13-7 in favor of the visiting Haverford Fords on Sweater Day here at Episcopal Academy.
I don't know what happened here, why Episcopal would be kicking off. I thought the penalty was we had an offside penalty, and they marked that off, but that would have only been 5 yards anyway. Ball's now at their own 45. There must have been some dead ball foul or something that gave the Churchmen a 15-yard penalty against the Haverford School.
And I think
I didn't see a flag.
I think Mike Murphy's chatting with the officials now, trying to get an explanation of just that. You very rarely see that, Bill, where a team will kick off already in the opposition territory.
I didn't see the flag, to be honest. I didn't see any flag on that extra point other than the one prior to the extra point attempt that was good. So this ball should be in the end zone.
Ringwald kicks it, and it's a short squib kick, fielded at the 20, 25-30, and brought down there is number 76, Niles Easley on the return. Gets it back to about the 31-yard line, so good starting field position, Bill, despite Episcopal kicking from Haverford territory.
Yeah, correct. I don't know if Connor slipped on that or if that was intentionally. You would think if they kicked from the 40 where they usually start, they may choose to squib it to keep it away from Philip Poquet, who was back deep on that play also.
Burke in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. That's Derek Mountain on the far side of the field. Burke now barking out the signals. Episcopal showing blitz, and they're coming. They hand it to Poquet. He rumbles up the middle, and he picks up a very hard-fought 1 or 2 yards before he's brought down by a group of churchmen, including Kevin Morgan.
Yeah, Episcopal did a real nice job of containing him right there and not letting him get anything. He never really got started. Fell forward, pushed the pile forward for 2.5, but keep him from making that big play.
Second, and we'll call it 7 for Haverford, leading 13-7 with 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Burke in the shotgun, saying something to Poquet. He moves him around. Episcopal adjusting their defense. Ball is snapped, and it looks like an option kept by Burke. Burke finding no room to run, picking up maybe 2. Episcopal doing a nice job on this defensive series, Bill, of containing Burke, who already has burnt them for a touchdown plunge and a 46-yard run, as well as a back-breaking conversion on 3rd down early in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Brendan had the option that he could have pitched that to Philip Poquet on that play, but at the same time, I think it was a little bit designed play because they did pull the backside guard to trap the end instead of option him.
3rd and 5, big play here upcoming for the Episcopal defense. It's a 1-score game, but this would certainly turn the momentum back into the Churchmen's favor if they can get a stop. Burke now barking out the signals. He drops back. Quick firing pass here on the near side, and it's caught but immediately tackled. Immediately coming down and making the tackle there was Jermaine Roden, and of course the defensive back, Michael Gelasso, makes the stop, and it brings up 4th and about 3 for the Fords.
You know, looking at that play before the snap of the ball, it looked like that play should work. They had them outnumbered out here. They're 3 to about 1.5. Episcopal only chose to bring one of the linebackers out towards the 3 wide receivers. So it looked like it should work, but I think the split end missed his block, and Gelasso came up and made a real nice play, open field tackle.
Bill, do you worry about the fake here if you're Episcopal?
No, I don't think so. I think they have the wind at their back, you know.
And he fires away. It's a spiral, and fair catch caught and made at about the 16-yard line is Christian Feliciani. And Episcopal moves deep into their own territory to start this drive. There's some of that field position we were talking about earlier, Bill. Haverford now swinging it a little bit in their favor.
Yeah, I think the wind's a factor. You can't tell too well in here, but I think it is breezing, not real strong, but it's headed in the direction that the Haverford school is going. And Brendan shows his versatility, Brendan Burke being athletic and also being the punter.
Whaley hands it off now to D. Barley, spins around in the backfield.
Ball came out.
Looks like the ball is loose. We'll say he picked up 1. And it brings up 2nd and 8 with 4:58 remaining here in the first half. Haverford leading 13-7.
Yeah, D. Barley is really at his best when he really gets his shoulders and his whole body going north-south. When he goes to make a cut like he did there, he also exposes the football a little bit, and the ball ended up on the ground.
Shotgun formation, Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Feliciani. Feliciani takes the pitch, he moves on the left, and he's stuffed. And the ball comes out. Haverford says they have it. Haverford says they have it at about the 22-yard line.
They're calling him down, Matt.
Looks like Feliciani's a little bit shook up, slow to get up off the ground.
Haverford came up with the ball, but Anthony was ruled down.
And he's coming out of the game, Bill. Looks like he took a very heavy hit there on the pitch.
We've seen that from the start, and again, the intensity involved with this football game. You know, a lot of good clean hitting going on.
Cody Russell now checks into the game. He's in the backfield alongside Ryan Wayland, who lines up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers set, 2 on the near side, 2 on the far. Wayland barking out the signals to the Episcopal offense.
You gotta know where Evan Butts is on the slot to the left.
Always have to watch out for Evan Butts, especially after that touchdown catch earlier. He drops back, he's looking, and he swings it along the sideline. It's caught and met immediately there. The catch looks like it was made by Charlie Jordan, but he was immediately brought down by a pair of Haverford defensive backs.
That's Christian Jubilato, again, one of their best athletes on the field for Haverford School. They tried the quick pass out to Michael Gelasso, and with Evan Butts coming out and trying to block for him. Michael Gelasso's a starting point guard on the basketball team. I think Craig Conlon, the basketball coach, holds his breath every time they throw him the ball.
Episcopal kicking it away here. That ball is up. And it takes a bounce at the midfield mark, and it rolls to about the 35 where it'll lie dead. That's where Haverford School will take over.
That's a mistake there, Matt. You got to field that ball in the air. You know, they say that the average, when you allow the ball to hit the turf, particularly the turf and not the grass, the average is 18 yards that the ball travels. So that almost went the 18, but it's just a typical play where you got to come up and field that ball.
2:50 to go here in the first half. Let's take a look at our house of guards here. And we'll spotlight a couple of the big offensive linemen for both Haverford and, of course, Episcopal School. Mike Watkins, the captain, has a tremendous job both sides of the ball. He's strong, he's tough, and he's a fantastic leader and plays mean. And Nick Helber, the captain for Haverford, he's the captain, heart, and soul of that offensive line. So a little love for the big fellas here as we get set. 2:50 to go in the first half. Handoff taken and rumbling towards the middle of the field, and ultimately brought down for Haverford. That's going to be close to a first down there to start this drive, Bill.
That's a nice run. Again, a speed sweep coming in motion. Christian Jubilati coming over, getting the ball, making a nice run. You know, hit it up in there real quick, kind of like an off-tackle sweep, the old Delaware sweep after the handoff.
Burke now in the backfield, shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Quick flanker screen here, and it's immediately snuffed out by Episcopal. That ball was caught by number 35, and he was immediately thrown out of bounds.
Again, I don't like that play to the short side. That's from the hash mark into the short side, and that was Michael Gelasso on defense, who just had the same play stopped from the offensive end that was thrown the last third down for Episcopal. Michael made a real nice play on that, came up quickly and made the stop.
Brings up 3rd and 3 for Haverford. They lead this one 13-7, 1:38 remaining in the first half. Burke drops back. He's looking under pressure. He's flushed from the pocket, and he dives for the first down marker at the 45-yard line. We'll wait on the spot, but it's going to be close, Bill, to another Ford's first down.
Oh, my. Did not get a very good spot there, and it will be 4th down. I thought he got past there, but he takes the snap from center and looks up to his right, and there's Evan Butts, and Brendan immediately pulls it down and takes off to the left. Looked like he picked it up, but he's marked just short. It'll be 4th down.
Haverford went for a 4th down early in the first quarter, and they converted, but this time out, 13-7 with a minute to go in the first half. They elect to play it safe, and they're going to kick it away here with Christian Feliciani back deep to receive for Episcopal. What do you make of this decision here?
Well, it's. I would not want to turn the ball over at this structure and at this moment of the game with 40 seconds left in the half. So that to kick the ball away is the safe thing to do.
And
you are ahead 6.
Yep, deep kick, and it's called for a fair catch by Feliciani at the 15. That's where Episcopal will take over with 35 seconds remaining in this half. Very evenly matched game, Bill. Both sides offensively going to their weapons, and both defenses have made their share of stands on 3rd and 4th down early on.
A great game. A lot of strategy going on with the coaches, I think. Again, I think the big thing was that big response from Episcopal after falling down 13-0 that now keeps them in the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't just take a knee going into the wind, with 35 seconds left.
Whalen did the shotgun. Does not look like he'll be taking a knee anytime soon. He drops back. He's looking, trying to find Butts, and he does it to 20, 25 to the 27. That'll be enough for a first down for Episcopal along the far sideline. A little bit of extracurriculars going on with the tight end, Evan Butts, Bill.
Yeah, well, I would say, again, I'm either taking a knee or giving the ball to Evan Butts, but just because of his big play potential. It was a short pass, just a little crossing pattern. I guess with Haverford playing deep, it gave them the opportunity to complete that.
28 seconds remaining in the first half. 3 running backs with Wayland in the shotgun.
Yeah, watch Evan going deep here and them just throwing up to him.
That's what they're doing on
there
the
it is.
Screen. And flanker, it is incomplete. Butts was going up for it. Nice breakup there by the defensive back, Michael Solomon. Almost had an interception in the grasp of his hands.
Yeah, I guess when you run Evan on a short pattern and complete the pass for a first down, and then you come back and maybe the defense is thinking or hoping it's going to be another short pattern. That was a stop-and-go pattern, but Solomon did not bite on it at all.
2nd and 10, 23 seconds remaining as Episcopal now with the ball at their own 26-yard line. Shotgun formation, Whalen, 5 wide receivers actually, 3 on the near side, 2 on the right. Whalen drops back, he's looking, and he fires it to nobody in particular after a heavy pressure being applied by James Graytalk for Haverford. He got in Whalen's face and forced that incompletion.
I am really surprised that they're trying to move the ball down here. Starting the drive at their own 15-yard line with 48 seconds left. I just thought they might be just happy. We got that 7 points back. Let's go in here and come back out. We're only down 6, but they've elected to go for it. So let's see what he does here, 3rd and 10. I would think they're going to just hand the ball off to Cody and run a draw.
Cody Russell in the backfield, and they hand it off to him up the middle to the 30-yard line. Actually, that's Feliciani checking back into the game after that big hit earlier.
Oh, you were right, Matt. That is Cody Russell. And Haverford, rightly so, calls a timeout. Maybe think they can go get a block on the punt. 8 seconds left in the half. Wind at their backs. See if they can make something happy here in the special teams game.
We'll see what happens here. And if you're Haverford, why not take that timeout, Bill? You're absolutely right. Pressure the kick. Maybe you get a block. Maybe you get a big return. And you can extend the lead going into the half.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come after this, and it's just a matter of, not roughing the kicker, because then I'm sure if they rough the kicker and they get the penalty, get the untimed down regardless, they're going to throw the ball up to Evan, and if they're in range where they could get the ball in the end zone, that would be the thing for Episcopal to do. But we'll see what happens here, if they come after it or they're going to try the big return. It'll depend on who we see back. And that is not Philip Poquet back there deep for Haverford School, but that is close to it. That's Christian Jubilato, who's, like I mentioned before, one of the better athletes at Haverford School.
We'll see what happens here. Whalen to punt. He gets it off cleanly. It's end over end, goes about 5 yards. That's a 5-yard punt for Whalen. Then with 2 seconds remaining here, Bill, for Haverford, what do you do? Do you take a shot at the end zone?
Absolutely. They're going to throw the ball in the end zone, I would think. They either have to put the ball in Philip Poquet's hand or throw the ball up to Solomon or Dox Aiken, one of their taller wide receivers, and throw the ball into the end zone. That ball, I think, because of the of Haverford School coming after the punt with the attempted block, put a little pressure on Ryan. He hurried his kick a little bit. It went off the side of his foot for basically no yardage. And here they come with trips. Again, trips open, and I'm sure they'll be throwing the ball up in the air down here to the left side.
We'll see what happens here. Burke is in the shotgun. 5 wide receivers. He's back. He's looking, steps up in the pocket, heaves it to the end zone. He has a shot at this thing, but he overfires. Incomplete, intended for Solomon. And that's how the first half will end in this 104th meeting between Episcopal and Haverford. It's the Fords 13 and the Churchmen 7. Bill, any thoughts off of that first half? Any initial observations?
Well, I think I mentioned a couple times that I was really pleased to see Episcopal's response after going down 13-0. If they didn't come back and score there and say Haverford had gone down and either kicked the field goal or scored again or even moved the ball, I think it really would have been bad for Episcopal's psyche. But I think they now have the confidence. They come back. They're only down 6 points. I think it really gives them the energy to come out in the second half and continue. It's a great game. It's been very evenly matched, and again, a couple big plays by Haverford's the difference.
Yes, it is, and a strong first half play from Brendan Burke, 1 passing touchdown to Noah Legiman, and 1 rushing touchdown to start the game as well. And of course, the big play for Episcopal was the touchdown pass from Whalen to Evan Butts, the future Virginia Cavalier. Halftime here at Smith Field, it is 13-7. We'll be back for the start of the second half with Bill Gallagher and Matt Lombardo with you here on the Strive Network.
Crew, providing broadcast quality HD streaming video just by the use of a laptop. Strive uses compact cameras that are able to pan, tilt, and zoom during live action. Want to see that play again? You can enjoy replays at any point during the broadcast. Slow motion? It's got that too. It also allows for varying, more intimate angles, like this one from the free throw line. Strive allows the use of pre-recorded video. These videos can be used throughout the broadcast to highlight whichever aspects of your institution you wish to emphasize. Strive has the ability to broadcast any event on campus, from convocation to graduation. It can also be used as an advertising tool, whether it be displaying a logo on screen or running a commercial. You can keep the school community up to date on future events and promote extracurricular programs and community service activities. A Strive broadcast is easily accessible, whether it's through your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can communicate with your alumni and parents, keeping them engaged in the happenings of the school in a creative and interactive way. The power and efficiency of a television broadcast is literally at your fingertips.
Halftime at Smith Field, where the visiting Haverford Fords lead the Episcopal Academy Churchmen 13-7. Matt Lombardo, Bill Gallagher with you here on the Strive Network. It's the 104th meeting of these two schools. When you look out over the vast campus of Episcopal Academy, Bill, I don't know if you could have picked a better day for football, and these two teams certainly have delivered in the first half. 13-7, couple of defensive stands on 3rd and 4th down, couple of big runs by Haverford's quarterback Brendan Burke, and of course you had the big touchdown pass from Ryan Whalen to Evan Butts. That's basically been your scoring so far today.
Yeah, we started out thinking that Haverford was the big play team, and it ends up that they were the big play team, but not by their own design. It was a broken play, and Episcopal did come up with the big play, the typical long high pass to Evan Butts, who could have been defensive pass interference, and ended up that they did not call. They called it on defense, and Evan shook the defender anyway and strided into the end zone for a long touchdown for Episcopal. The surprise to me so far has been the absence almost of Dox Aiken on the Haverford sideline, Haverford side of the ball with the offense. Dox is the receiver that's made a lot of big plays for Haverford School in the last couple games, and I don't think he's touched the ball yet, but I look for them to work that the trips open, throw the ball to the single receiver side, run a little bit of their bubble, and of course Episcopal to come out and again to reestablish that run game that they had pretty good success with, and then run some pass action off of that. But great first half of football.
How about the first half, Bill, from a guy like Brendan Burke? Had the touchdown run, had the 46-yard scamper to set it up, and then he had the touchdown pass, 12-yard pass to Michael Solomon. He worked that Burke to Solomon connection to fruition there. Do you think that Episcopal needs to adjust against him, maybe put a spy on him in the second half, or make some sort of defensive adjustment, or is he just capitalizing on the creases opened up by his offensive line?
No, I don't think Episcopal's going to do it. Brendan's a real nice athlete, and he's the punter. He was the receiver a little bit when he lost his starting job due to the injury that he had and the fact that a couple of the other kids were playing pretty well. But he's back there, and he's just, since the Malvern game, he has been Mr. Steady for Haverford School, if not spectacular at times, which he certainly is, very athletic. But he's just been back there, and he not turning the ball over. A couple opportunities, he made nice plays on real high snaps that he went up and prevented from going beyond him, perhaps. Yeah, he's had a great half. I don't think it's anything that surprised Episcopal because they knew of his athletic ability, but he's certainly been a rock for them since 3 games ago.
And for Episcopal Academy, Bill, you had the big touchdown pass to Evan Butts, but he's basically been quiet in this first half. Couple of catches, only the one really big play. I think that they need to make a concerted effort to get the hands into the big tight ends, the ball in the big tight end's hands as we start this second half.
Yeah, I think that the first half seemed to just fly by. I think that both teams kept the ball on the ground for the most part, and when they did throw the ball, they had some completions, so they kept the clock going. So I don't think we've seen the entire offense of either of these teams. Episcopal certainly, with the 3 running backs, they like to run the ball and then throw the ball off the play action to Evan. But the running game's been solid, but they haven't been able to break away with anything, and they haven't been able to maintain a long drive that they were forced to do by starting from their own side of the field every possession.
Once again, 13-7, Haverford leads this one going into the second half. Winner will take home at least a share of the Interac Championship, depending on what happens in that Malvern prep game. Bill, you've been on the sideline for your fair share of games in this rivalry, for your fair share of games in the Interac. If you're on either side of one of these sidelines today with those sort of implications going into the second half, how do you keep your team level-headed knowing what's on the line here?
Well, I think you do that through the week. I've always thought that you motivate your team during the week. You can excite them in the locker room before the game, but you motivate the individuals. You excite the group or the team. So I think throughout the week, the coaches have been pounding in the message of this is the important things we have to do. these are the things that we must accomplish in order to win this game. And I don't think they're going to change anything with a 13-7 score at halftime. They're going to continue to reinforce what they've been saying all week to these players. Come out and execute and, end the game as co-champs.
Absolutely. That's what the goal is for either one of these teams. And, of course, the 104th meeting between these two schools is basically what you expected. Smash mouth, knock down, drag them out, defensive football, a couple of big plays offensively. And going into today, we talked to Mike Murphy. We talked to the head coach, fairly, of Episcopal Academy. And Murphy, this is his 9th year as head coach. He said that his favorite memory of this rivalry was the 100th game between these two schools. Comcast came out and broadcasted the game. Bill, what's your favorite memory from your days coaching on the sideline in this Episcopal and Haverford matchup?
Well, I can tell you it was not that game because I was the Episcopal's coach that Mike Murphy had the great memories from. But it was an awesome game, I'll tell you that. It was a well-played game by both teams, and Murph was lucky he came out. I think there was a ton of lucky plays that day and bad calls by officials that gave him that win. Just kidding. But, no, he did a great job. He always does a great job. His teams are always very well prepared. There's a lot of things that go in, like I mentioned, keeping the kids even keeled during the week where there's so much spirit. It's Spirit Week on both campuses. There's so many different things going along that you got to allow the kids to have some fun and take part in those events. And then when that whatever the theme of the day was for the Spirit Week, when that day's over and you're out on the practice field, you have to get their attention and make them realize that the Spirit Day's over. It was a lot of fun. We have to get to work. We need to prepare for the game because it's it's going to be a big game, a game that you're going to remember, and you don't want to say that, geez, I wish I had a better practice on Tuesday.
I'm excited to see this sweater. I've never seen the sweater. It's my first time taking in the Episcopal Haverford rivalry. I'm excited to see it come out after the game.
Yeah, it's an old tradition. There's a lot of old tradition. The schools in the Interac have been around for a long time. We're known as like the Ivy League of the high schools. The kids, one thing they all have in common is they're all very intelligent kids. They're capable of doing schoolwork and play athletics at the same time. And a lot of our kids in our league also, this is the end of the fall for all the sports. What happens now is that there'll be a week off with no sports whatsoever, and then our winter sports will start on Friday. And a lot of these same kids are needed to play in those winter sports also.
About to get ready here in the second half. Haverford will kick it away to Episcopal. Back deep to receive for the Churchmen, of course, Christian Feliciani. Haverford likely to kick it away from the man with 315 rushing yards on the year, and they do just that. They kick it short. It's taken at the 20, 25, and breaking one tackle moving free was Michael Gelasso. He moved up to about the 27-yard line, and that's where Episcopal will take over their first drive in the second half.
Example of the multi-sport athletes that I just mentioned. Michael Gelasso was the starting guard on the basketball team, and they'll start next Friday. Who just made a nice return, but very good athlete, Mike.
Episcopal now starting in the shotgun. It's Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Feliciani. 3 wide receiver set. He fakes the handoff, drops back. He's looking, fires to Butts, who's wide open to 30, 35, and brought down at the 37-yard line. Tackle made there by Episcopal Academy's defensive back, number 1, Christian Jubilati.
Yeah, I happened to be focused on Evan on that play. It was a pro set this side, so there's a flanker outside him to the left. And Evan held his block and delayed his release coming out, and that's why he was so open.
Wayland in the shotgun formation. 3-4 wide receivers set. Trips on the far side, single receiver on the near side. He gets the signal from the sideline. Ball is snapped. He hands it off now to Feliciani, who's tackled in the backfield. Looks like he lost about 3. That'll bring up third and about 2 yards for the Churchmen.
Yeah, that was a big run blitz by Haverford School. Almost a little risky because if they had overrun him, there was nobody left in the middle of the field. And again, there was single coverage on Evan Butts, so it'll be interesting to see if that continues. And he is going out wide right, and it looks like he's single covered again.
10:39 remaining in the third quarter. They hand it off to D. Barley, and Barley storms through the first wave of defenders for a first down. He picks up about 8, moving over to the Episcopal 46-yard line. That'll be enough for a Churchman first down.
You know, I was wondering about his hamstring that he's been nursing for the last couple of weeks. It didn't look like it was bothering him all on that one. He headed north-south and went and determined run to pick up that first down and then end some.
Wayland in the backfield. 2 wide receivers, 2 setbacks. It's almost like a pro set in the shotgun formation. 10-11 remaining here in the third quarter. He hands it off to Feliciani. Feliciani sheds 1 tackler, rumbles forward to about the 49-yard line, picks up about 3, and that will bring up 2nd and 7 for Episcopal.
I think there's we can't see it, but I think there's a flag or something going on down here. That was the same power off tackle that they've been running. No, there's nothing. It's just 2nd down. The same power play they've been running pretty consistently for 3 or 4, 5 yards every time. So that one was only 3, but gets the ball moving forward.
Episcopal comes to the line now, trailing by 6, 13-7. Wayland in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the backfield. It's Cody Russell. That's Feliciani. Still hands it off to Feliciani off right guard, and he's stuffed there, brought down for about a 2-yard gain. Brought down by Kevin Morgan, the big linebacker, having a nice day for himself here this afternoon.
On that play, they had Evan Butts split out wide to the right, and they had only Anthony in the backfield, and I think they were hoping that Haverford would take a couple people out of the box to go coverage, and Haverford didn't. I'd look for them, Episcopal, to come back to that at some point and throw the ball out of it.
Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers. Feliciani in the backfield. Whalen fires it to the near sideline. It's hauled in by Christian Feliciani. Looks like the ball came out at the end of that play. Haverford says they have it, but the officials are waving him down, but it's good enough for an Episcopal first down at the Haverford 41-yard line. Nice little pitch and catch there from Wayland to Feliciani.
Yeah, it's a very safe play. The short side of the field from the hash into the sideline, and Christians just did like a little 7-yard stop pattern, knowing that he only needed the 4 for the first down. And Ryan put the ball right on the money right there and quickly.
Shotgun formation once again. Feliciani, the single setback. He fakes the handoff. He's looking for Butts over the middle. He finds him, and it is broken up. Broken up by Haverford School and nearly intercepted by one of the defensive backs there for Haverford.
I think that was Christian Jubilato again, along with number 24, who's Doc Sakin, who's also, both of those are the wide receivers on the offensive side. A lot of the skill position from Haverford are on both sides of the ball. It's up front where they might change some people.
2nd and 10 for Episcopal at the Haverford 41-yard line. Going in motion now is Barley. Pitch now to Feliciani on the right side. He cuts back to his right. He's at the 40, steps over a defender, and he's dragged down at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Episcopal. And that Haverford School, that defense staying home and not being faked out by the jukes and jives of Anthony Feliciani.
And
late flag comes in.
Yeah, after the tackle, I mean, there was a swarm of Haverford players that made that play. Almost to the point where they almost over-pursued, and you wonder if Episcopal saw that. Maybe one of the coaches upstairs saw that, and a reverse or something would have come around here wide open. But something happened, some extracurriculars over there, and I don't think Coach Fairley's going to like what Mr. Referee's coming over to explain to him, because he may have a 15-yard penalty on Episcopal, and I'm not sure that's what it is.
Look, there was a little scuffle involving both sides over along the Haverford sideline. You're right about that, Bill. We'll just wait and see who the penalty's against. And it's against Haverford and against Episcopal. They offset.
You kind of like to see that, because they were both over there, a little pushing and shoving going on. Throw the flag, let them know, hey, look, heated game, a lot on the line, but we're not going to stand for any extracurriculars, but don't penalize one team or the other. Let it go both.
3rd and 10 coming up for Episcopal. They're in the jumbo set. Shotgun formation, Feliciani in the backfield. Fake handoff. Whalen looking, and it's hauled in by Butts right around the line of scrimmage. Not sure I understand that play call there by Coach Fairley, Bill. It's 3rd and 10, and you throw it underneath to the tight end.
Well, I think if you noticed a couple of the other ones, they were starting to get some pressure on Ryan when he did throw the ball, other than the real short ones, the short sideline patterns. So maybe they figured they could get the ball to Evan, and Evan could then carry the ball for the rest of the way instead of throwing the ball beyond the first down marker. Unfortunately, it didn't work. They had, again, a large number of Haverford players swarming to the ball.
Giblotto back deep, Whalen with the punt. It's a high end-over-end punt. That's going to fall at about the 11-yard line. Takes an Episcopal bounce, and it's down. It's down inside the 1-yard line. Great special teams play there. And Michael Gelasso downs it inside the 1. Haverford School will take over in the shadow of their own goalpost, Bill. Great turn of events for Episcopal, and they certainly turn the tide of the field possession game here in the 3rd quarter.
Again, I think that's a big mistake by Haverford School, not fielding the punt in the air. I mean, granted, if they caught it, it would have been at the 12 or something, but that's a long way to have the ball bounce into it, particularly with knowing that a couple of the Episcopal players were right there ready to down it.
Nevertheless, 1st and 10 inside the 1-yard line, and rumbling forward is Poquay, the junior, with 694 yards coming into today. Had a couple of big runs early on for Haverford. Gets them out of that shadow into about the 7-yard line, so it'll bring up 2nd and about 3 or 4.
A nice quick hitter from underneath, Brendan underneath the center. Turn around, just hand the ball to Phillip and hope they move it out a little bit so they get something. And they picked up a good 5 yards.
Burke in the shotgun formation now. Single setback Poquay. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 2 on the far. He hands it off to Poquay, sheds 1 tackler in the backfield. He breaks loose. He's at the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 midfield, 45, 40. 1 man to beat at the 30, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line by Christian Feliciani. The speed of the running back, defensive back of Episcopal saved a touchdown there as Poquay got loose at the line of scrimmage and never looked back, Bill.
That looked like it was stopped for no gain, and Phillip just bounced off the would-be tackler, heads up the sideline, and then became a foot race between 2 really fast players, Christian Feliciani and Philip Poquay.
Feliciani had the upper hand on that one. Poquay gets a blow on the sideline. Checking in is Reginald Harris in the backfield behind Brendan Burke. 1st and 10 from about the 17-yard line of Episcopal Academy. Burke now positions his running back. He's in the shotgun. High snap. He keeps it. He goes to his left at the 15. Scoots forward to the 10-5. First down for Haverford. Hauled down at about the 5-yard line. And Brendan Burke, Bill, who burned Episcopal in the first half with his legs with a 46-yard run, gets another scamper there, setting up 1st and goal inside the 5.
Yeah, another high snap, which, Brendan very athletically got a hold of. They faked the pitch to the left, and he ran off tackle left, and I think Episcopal over-pursued that a little bit.
5:43 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 13-7 in favor of Haverford, and they're threatening here inside the 5-yard line. High snap. Burke fires. Incomplete. That ball, of course, was intended for number 83, Micah Sims. He just overthrew him in the back of the end zone, Bill.
I don't understand that one. 5 yards off. I hate to, as a coach, you hate to be second-guessed at what's going on, but in that situation, 1st and goal from the 5, I think I'm handing the ball to Philip Poquay 4 times.
2nd and goal, Poquay checks back into the game, but instead they fire a pass on the near side of the field and shedding 1 defender and scoring. A flag on the play, but that would go down as a touchdown to Derek Martin, depending on the penalty.
Yeah, and then again, you're throwing the ball, you're risking plays like this, you're throwing a little bubble, it's going to be a holding call, and so now instead of 1st and goal from the 5, you're going to be second down and from the 15, and now you're kind of forced to throw the ball.
Kind of in no man's land there, Bill. You're absolutely right. Both teams, couple of costly penalties in the first half. Another one here inside the red zone for Haverford. But the way that Burke's been running, this might almost benefit them. A little more room for the quarterback to get loose, with the safeties not all crunched up there along the goal line or just in the foothill of the end zone.
Yeah, I hate the second, being a former coach, I hate the second guess a coach, but because I don't see what they scouted and what they were going to see down at the goal line. They must have seen something where they felt that they could throw the ball a lot easier than they could run the ball in.
Burke looking, firing, and it is caught for a touchdown. Holing in that one is Micah Sims. He atones for the incompletion on the previous play, and it is the second touchdown pass of the game for Brendan Burke. Haverford leads this one 19-7, pending the extra point here, Bill, and certainly that is a momentum swing for the Haverford school at the start of the third quarter.
It's the same formation, same pattern that they threw on first and goal from the 5. And I don't know if he was open or not that first time, but this time he definitely was open. So, again, it must have been something that Mike Murphy and his staff saw, that down near the goal line, this kind of pass, this kind of pattern is going to be open to us.
Extra point was up and good. Haverford leads 20-7, 5:23 remaining here in the third quarter from Smith Field, and this game was just blown wide open by the big arm of Brendan Burke. He now has 9 touchdowns on the year and closing in on 1,200 passing yards.
Well, it's a combination of Brendan Burke with some plays, but certainly that was all set up by Philip Poquee's run. Again, looked like no gain whatsoever, and it ends up being an 80-yard run down to the 5-yard line that set Haverford up for their score.
Poquee came into this game with 694 rushing yards, but that was the big run right there. He got loose down the sideline, and it just came down to would it be the foot race won by Poquee or, of course, by Christian Feliciani. And Feliciani tracked him down and momentarily saved a touchdown for Episcopal.
What do you think, Matt? Does Philip Poquee look healthy?
I'd say that's an affirmative there, Bill.
It's a shame he wasn't able to play the entire year like this, but here's another pooch kick.
Pooch kick, and it's hauled in there along the far sideline, and Episcopal will start off with the ball at their own 32-yard line. And they need to make something happen offensively here, Bill, to stay in this ballgame.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it starts out, you just need a first down. You need something positive. I don't think it's necessarily like they have to score on this drive, but a first down would certainly be important. And then anything after that would be nice, and including a score would be real nice.
5:23 remaining in the third quarter. Haverford leads 20-7. Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Feliciani, and it's a keeper. Wayland dashes up the middle off of right guard, and he falls forward after picking up about 5 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Churchmen.
I think that's C.J. McAnally in there, because I don't remember Ryan. Did Ryan really run that? Yes, it was C.J.
That's C.J. McAnally. That's my fault.
Ryan is more the passer, and C.J. is a freshman who starts at free safety. Very athletic kid. Got a bright future ahead of him as a quarterback, but he's going to have to wait his turn till Ryan's only a junior. But I could see them doing that more often.
Backs in the eye. They hand it off to D. Barley. Barley turns the corner, or tries to, but he's met in the backfield, and we have a little bit of extracurricular going on here after the play. Eric Fullman getting into it with a couple of the Episcopal players near us on this side of the field.
Again, there's D, and I think he's coming out, but that's not unusual. They do a lot of substituting depending on the different packages that they have. But D didn't look like D. Barley on that play. He looked like he definitely was hurting with that hamstring. Big down coming up here, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
3rd and 4 coming up for Episcopal here, Bill, and it's 4 wide receivers. Look out for the big fella, Evan Butts, on the near side.
With single coverage.
Single setback, single coverage for Butts. He wants the ball. Whalen now in the shotgun surveying the defense. The ball was snapped. He's looking for Butts on the far side. He just overthrows him. Overthrows him by about 10 yards.
Evan can go up and get the ball, but he's not going to go up and get that one. I think that one slipped out of Ryan's hand and took off on him a little bit. Way overthrown.
Missed opportunity for the Episcopal offense, Bill, with 3:50 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that would have been nice to move the ball a little bit, but now this punt will be key to see if they turn the field over or not. If not, it looks like Haverford might get the ball near, as far up as the 40.
Whalen gets it. It's a high, wobbling punt. That's going to fall down at the 40 and take another Episcopal bounce. That bounces all the way into the 18-yard line. But that's a 22-yard bounce.
Like we mentioned earlier, you don't field the punt, particularly on an artificial turf field. The average that it rolls is 18 yards, and I think we just saw about 18 or 20 on that punt. Again, it's sometimes it's difficult to rush up and field that thing, with people around you, but it certainly has cost Haverford School a lot of yards.
Episcopal needs a stop here defensively to keep this thing close. It's now 20-7, 3:38 remaining in the third quarter. 104th meeting between these two schools. And the Interact Championship is on the line. Depending on the outcome of the Malvern Prep game, the winner of this will at least have a share of the league title and possibly win it outright. They pitch it now to Poquet. Poquet now at the 20, 25-30, trying to turn the corner, and he's brought down at about the 29-yard line. Tackle made there by Episcopal number 3, Christian Feliciani, having a couple of big plays defensively on these last two series, Bill.
Yeah, a couple big plays that were very largely needed by the Episcopal's defense when they get that deep down the field. That's just an option that they ran a couple times earlier that Brendan kept the ball. This time he pitched it to Poquet off of the read of the defensive end.
Burke in the shotgun, Poquet the single setback. 3 wide receivers. They hand it off to Poquet, and that ball's going to be waved dead. That play's waved dead before it started. Probably movement, I'd assume, on the offensive line, Bill?
Yeah, false start. The right tackle moved just prior to the snap. So that'll knock them back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. And that was going to be another run to Phillip up in the middle or just slightly off tackle. Didn't look like it was going to go anywhere, though, so it's a shame they didn't. The procedure call was penalized regardless of the start of the play.
Shotgun formation now for Haverford, who holds a 20-7 lead with 2:51 remaining in the third quarter here from Smith Field. Burke hands it off to Poquet. Poquet finds a hole. He goes to his left. Plenty of running room, but the hole closes up again by who else but Feliciani. Feliciani with 3 critical tackles defensively for Episcopal.
They're getting to know each other real well. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time that they just the 2 of them alone, and it's been kind of a draw because Phillip's been gaining the yardage and Christian's been bringing them down, but not after some nice gains.
2nd and 6 for Haverford. Ball spotted on their own 33-yard line. Burke hands it off. No, he keeps it. Quarterback keeper. He runs towards the left sideline, and he's brought down immediately. Maybe he picked up 2 there. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 4 for Haverford School.
That was a zone read, and like I mentioned earlier, I think Brendan is too quick on his fakes, particularly when you're faking the ball to Phillip Poquet. If you ride him in there a little bit longer and give the defense a chance to react and think the ball that was with Phillip and then pull it out. But Brendan took that very quickly and made some positive yardage.
Burke in the shotgun, flanked by Poquet, 3 wide receivers, fakes the handoff, and he fires the ball complete, but brought down immediately by Christian Feliciani, whose helmet falls off in the process, was number 48, Noah Lehman. Lehman made the catch, but Feliciani with another crucial tackle. And that's going to bring up 4th down for Haverford, who has a player down on the field.
That play was greatly affected by Evan Butts. As soon as Brendan turned around from his ball fake, Evan was in his face with his 6'3" frame. Brendan had to loft the ball up over it to get over Evan's outstretched hands, and that gave the defender time to come up and make the play in spite of the completed pass.
Stoppage on the field now is the injured Haverford player. It appears to be number 62, Julian Jamachian.
Yeah, that's Jam Goshen. Julian's older brother played at Haverford a couple years ago. Another really large kid, very good player, and that's younger brother Julian. Looks like he hurt his ankle a little bit, but looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah, he's walking off under his own power here, but it's 4th down. And Episcopal's going to get the ball back with some pretty good field position here, Bill.
Yes, I mean Brendan's been kicking the ball pretty well, and I like we're in this closed booth, thankfully, but we're not privy to exactly how strong that wind is. But we'll see how this punt goes into the wind.
Episcopal tries to block it, and it's nearly tipped, but he gets off a high punt, and it will bounce and take an Episcopal bounce to about the 25. And that's where the Churchmen will take over with just under a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter, trailing 20-7.
They came close to getting that. I mean, not real close, but it looks like they did have some pressure on it. But Brendan had another, Brendan Burke, that is, had another real nice punt, ball turning over real nicely, and Michael Gelasso choosing not to catch it. And Episcopal will start from their 25.
Ryan Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Feliciani, sends a man in motion. He gets the snap, pitches to Feliciani. Looks like we have a pass coming, but no, he keeps it under, and he rumbles forward for about a 7-yard gain, does Anthony Feliciani. Looked like he was poised to throw it on a little bit of a trick play, but there was good coverage down the field by Haverford secondary.
Yeah, that was Derek Mountain, who very athletic, who has played some quarterback and wide receiver for Haverford School. Covering Michael Gelasso. That was supposed to be a halfback pass. I've seen this in practice a couple times. Anthony can throw the thing, but Michael got jammed at the line of scrimmage, and it messed up the whole timing of the play, and Anthony had to pull it down and run.
Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, 2nd and about 3. Wayland gets the snap. He's looking, fires down the near side. He's going for it, and incomplete, just out of the outstretched fingertips of Jake Martellotti. Just overthrew him by just that much, and it brings up 3rd and short, about 3 or 4 yards for Episcopal, who desperately needs an offensive first down here with the waning seconds of the 3rd quarter.
That was a very strong arm throw from Ryan from the right hash down the left sideline, a good 30 yards. That ball had to be 60, 70 yards in the air.
3rd and 3 here for Episcopal. Wayland in the backfield, shotgun, gets the snap, hands it off to Feliciani. Feliciani finds a seam and spins forward to the 40-yard line. He's a little slow to get up, but they move the chains to Episcopal. And Feliciani gets up kind of favoring his wrist and a little bit slow to get up, and checking into the game now will be D. Barley.
That was a little guard trap. It basically is their draw play. It's a quick draw play where he hits it up in there real fast. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter.
20-7, Haverford leads as we go into the final 12 minutes in the 4th quarter. Episcopal has the ball, and Bill, if they can score here on this possession, get a stop defensively, they're still in this thing, but I really believe it comes down to what happens on this drive.
Yeah, this is going to be very important. I mean, they got the ball 1st and 10 at the 40. They got 60 yards to go. I think it's into, if not a wind, at least it's into a breeze. But I think Ryan's strong arm is capable of throwing the ball into at least a little bit of a wind coming in his face. It's strong enough to do that. So I don't think it'll prevent him from passing the ball. And I don't really know that they have to. Right now, that you still have 12 minutes left, and you're down 14, but 13 actually. Sorry, down 13. So the one score will put some pressure on Haverford and make Haverford a little more urgent with their offense, and maybe make them open up a little bit because they feel they're going to have to move the ball being only up. But if Haverford gets the ball back, Matt, with Episcopal down 13. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Philip Poquet and Brendan Burke running the ball and running that clock.
And the unsung hero today, even though we're on the beautiful campus of Episcopal Academy at Smith Field, the 12th man of the Haverford student section. They've been active, they've been loud, and they're into it here going into the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting.
Episcopal now 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Ryan Wayland in the backfield, flanked by Anthony Feliciani. 4 wide receivers on this critical drive for Episcopal's offense. Wayland surveys the field, gets the low snap. He fires it quickly over to Christian Feliciani on the near side, and he goes out of bounds. Tackled just inbounds. Picked up about 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 4 for Episcopal School.
Again, that's a real nice, safe pass to the short side of the field, right hash to the right sideline. Just a quick stop pattern, 7 yards deep. Christian drove the guy off, made a nice play.
Wayland in the shotgun. Sends in motion Barley. D. Barley stops in the backfield. They pitch it to Feliciani. It's an end around. He pitches it to number 25. Off and running is he to the 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds is Michael Gelasso. And a late flag comes in as Gelasso was hit along the Haverford sideline on the far side of the field. And that's the kind of play that the Episcopal Academy needed, Bill. A big running play to break it open, capped off by a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, but I think they're also getting called for a hold or a block in the back here where it all started. So I think it's going to be offsetting and play all over. But we mentioned that earlier, how fast the Haverford School team's been pursuing and getting 11 guys to the football. That's not always good when you don't want 11 to the ball. You want a bunch of them. But that we talked about maybe the reverse being a play that would work for Episcopal. And it looked like it was set up, but Michael changed field, and it is a penalty on both.
And Malvern Prep gets the win today, 63-50. So the winner of this game shares the title in the Interac with Malvern Prep.
Did you say 63-50? We're in the MAC. Okay, so it looks like the officials are talking this over to make sure they get the mark off right here, but where the ball was, it should just be offsetting, or unless it's a dead ball foul. And it was, which will change everything. They'll mark the ball off against Episcopal, and then mark off the dead ball the 15 yards back from the point of the foul, and it will remain 2nd down.
2nd and 5 coming up with 11:14 remaining here in the ball game, Bill. And if you're Episcopal Academy, you almost want to replay that play that you had great success on leading into that penalty.
Well, I don't
find that magic.
It better not. I mean, from the Haverford standpoint, I'm sure the defensive coaches are saying you got to stay home on that backside. We can't allow big play reverse come.
Whalen hands it off to Feliciani. He cuts to his left, up the middle, and he's stuffed at the 50-yard line. That should be enough to move the chains for an Episcopal first down, and it is. And the Churchmen are on the march here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's important, I think, again, that they score. I don't think they have to score quickly, but I think they have to score on this drive, move the ball upfield. And there's C.J. McNally in the field now, number 10, who very athletic, a lot of speed, and he's usually not flanked out here, so I'm wondering if something's going on.
They have a penalty here. Looks like it's upcoming against Haverford. Ball was already in Ford territory at the 49, and they'll march this penalty off to about the 44-yard line, and that's where it'll be first and about 4. First down and 5 for Episcopal Academy.
Episcopal now has speed at both sides over here with C.J. down low and Christian up top.
Well, firing down the sideline, and there it is, intercepted. Intercepted here on the near side of the field. They went for it, but the interception there by Michael Solomon, he hauls it in, and that's a game changer for Haverford. They'll take over at their own 15-yard line.
I'm sure, that's the first time I've seen that. I'm sure Haverford and Solomon were probably ready. What is C.J. doing out here? That's Episcopal's backup quarterback and starting free safety. We mentioned him before, a freshman, very talented, very quick. And Michael Solomon played that perfectly on the stop-and-go pattern. So I think they got a little bit too hungry there too quickly. I like the fact that they were marching the ball down the field, and they didn't have to score quickly, but they went for it, and it backfired on them.
Burke in the shotgun, flanked by who else but Philip Pilkey, but they throw it now. They throw it on the far side of the field, and that's brought in by Noah Lehman. Noah Lehman moves to about the 30-yard line, and that's where it'll be second and about 5 for Haverford.
Being up 2 scores, I wonder about throwing the ball so far for such short gains. Because it's so important to keep this clock running now, being up 2 scores. An incomplete pass certainly would help Episcopal.
Clock ticks under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter at Smithfield. Burke now hands it off to Poquet, who's trying to turn the corner. He sheds 2 defenders in the backfield, gets to that corner. He's at 25-30. 35, pushed out of bounds there by number 33. Cody Russell makes the stop. But you said earlier, Bill, at this juncture of the game, just keep feeding Philip Poquet. That's exactly what Haverford's doing with 9:47 remaining in the fourth quarter.
He just made a couple real good moves on a couple very good players, one of them being Evan, the other Michael Gelasso, where he deked to the inside and went outside. You would expect maybe the tackler would say, you're going to go up, you can go inside us, but we don't want you on the outside with your speed. And that's exactly what Philip did. He got to the outside and made a good 15, 20-yard run.
Burke now in the pistol, flanked by Poquet, and they throw it over here on the near side of the field. That's Dox Aitken. Dox Aitken sheds 2 defenders, and he's loose, 45-40, and he's brought down at the 38. Ball looked like it came loose, but he recovered it. Tackle made there by John Van Freeman, and that's another big tackle for Episcopal, but another big offensive play from Brendan Burke in the Haverford school. Looks like it's going to come back, though, as there's a penalty flag here. It'll be holding at about the 40. Backbreaker there for Haverford.
Okay, they had two receivers set to the short side of the field, one of them being Dox Aitken. They made the quick pass to Dox, and I didn't notice anything, but obviously the split end to that side must have gone up and held the Episcopal defensive back, which I think was Jonathan Freeman, who ended up getting back into the play. But so a hold brings the ball back from the spot of the foul. It'll make it first and 15.
First and 15 now for Haverford. Ball spotted at their own 30-yard line. They lead 20-7. Just over 9 minutes to play here in regulation at Smithfield. Lights beginning to come on, sun beginning to set on a very picturesque fall afternoon. Burke fakes the handoff and a no-look pass over the middle of the field. That's hauled in by Noah Lehman once again, and that Burke to Lehman connection continues to work for the Fords.
Michael Gelasso, the corner, who also is the wide receiver for Episcopal, who runs stop patterns like that, who defended the previous stop pattern, maybe was back for. Michael just was a little bit too aggressive on that one. They faked the pass to Dox Aitken, pumped it to him for the stop pass, and then hit the would-be blocker down the field. Well-designed play by Haverford School.
First and 10, nose of the football just touching the 50-yard line, 8:27 to go. They hand it off to Poquet, and Poquet dives forward for about 4 yards, and even his dives are violent there, Bill.
Yeah. Well, that's all that speed. When you get that speed and athleticism going north-south, loses its footing a little bit and dives forward, he's still going to gain 4 or 5 yards. Could have been thrown for a loss there and ended up moving the ball a little bit. And
second and 9 brought up here for Haverford.
It's important for them to keep the ball, keep the clock running.
They give it back to Poquet, and he rumbles forward, meets a pack of Episcopal defenders, and keeps the legs moving. He's to about the 43-yard line. That should set up a 3rd and 3 for the Fords.
That was an old-fashioned wedge. You just took the big Haverford lineman, made him step in toe-to-toe, and just drive forward with Poquet right behind him. Nice, safe, easy gain of 5.
3rd and 3 with 7:24 remaining in the fourth quarter here at Smithfield. Haverford leads 20-7. Burke now throws it over on the near side of the field on a bubble screen, and he's loose. And 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. That could be the exclamation point as Dox Aitken finally breaks loose on a bubble screen, and that's going to go down as a 44-yard touchdown pass, his 3rd of the game for Brendan Burke, who's now accounted on all 4 scoring plays for Haverford, who lead this one 26-7.
Again, we're wondering where was Dox the first half. I don't think he touched the ball. He touched the ball earlier on that exact same play, but it was called back. This time they caught, again, a nice, easy, safe pass to the short side of the field from the left hash to the left sideline with a blocker in front of him, and Dox took it the distance.
Ball spotted, kicked up and good. 27-7 is our score here. Haverford kind of blowing the doors off late here with that touchdown pass.
Well, there's certainly no slow touchdowns for Episcopal now, being down 3 scores. They have to score quickly, and they have to score, maybe get an onside kick and come back with only 7 minutes left. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back now. But, they're capable of doing it. They have some weapons, and Ryan Whalen's strong arm can throw the ball down the field. So
this is where the play of tight end Evan Butts is really going to need to come into play. He, of course, has had several big plays at a monstrous game against Haverford last year. Here's a guy who should be the focal point for Episcopal on this critical offensive drive if they want to stage any sort of comeback late in this ball game, Bill.
Exactly. They could, you get in this kicking game, you get Christian Feliciani or Michael Gelasso or in the open field somewhere. Maybe you can get a quick one that way. Haverford has shown a couple of pooch kicks where they just try to keep it away from Christian and Michael. So we'll see what they do here and how their coverage goes. And pooch kick, though, you pooch kick, sometimes you're giving up field position right away. That's what Episcopal needs. They need good field position with a short field.
And they pooch kick, it looks like it's going to go out of bounds.
Well, we had offsides, right side of Haverford coverage team was offside. Sometimes when you pooch kick, you're approaching the ball a lot slower than when you're really trying to kick at a distance, and it sets off the timing of your coverage people. But there's no excuse for a player to be off there. You just look in and stay behind that kicker and let him kick the ball. But I'm sure that's what happened there. The pooch kick just slowed the kicker up a little bit from what they're used to.
And they're going to shift coverage here and kick off from their own 35-yard line. Will Haverford leading 27-7. Almost just want nothing to go wrong if you're the Fords here on this kickoff.
Again, I don't think they're going to kick it deep, particularly 5 yards back. It looks like they might pooch it over here to the left this time.
And they do kick it deep. They kick it deep, and it's hauled in and fumbled.
Yep.
Fumbled there. In Episcopal bringing it up now to the 25-yard line. That's where they'll take over after Michael Gelasso recovered his own fumble and rumbled forward on that return to about the 25. 75 yards to go for a touchdown, down 27-7. It almost needs to be a quick strike if Episcopal has any hope to come back and win this game, Bill.
Well, fortunately, one of the things that Episcopal does and has done during the season and over the last couple of years is they run no huddle. So this is not something strange for them to get up over the ball and just run, and I would assume that they probably will not huddle the rest of the game almost.
Whalen back, he's looking, and it's caught, hauled in, and making a catch there is Gelasso. He picks up about 7.
Great grab by Michael on a crossing pattern. And again, here they go. The Episcopal will not huddle. And like I said, this is not something that's risky for them. They do this often.
2nd and 4 from their own 32 for Episcopal. He looks back. Whalen finds Butts on the far side. No, that's not Butts. That's Jake Martellotti. Martellotti's brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage, and it brings up 3rd and 2 after he picks up about a yard.
So now the question is, do you feel the need to throw the ball again, or do you try to get this first down with 3rd and 3 and then get up on the ball right away? Clock stops after a first down. They need to get the first. I'm sure it's probably 4 down area for them.
Whalen now hand off to Feliciani. Christian Feliciani, that is. They're trying to use his speed. He turns the corner at the 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, and he's tripped up. Tripped up at the 5-yard line is Christian Feliciani by L.J. Barlow. You wanted a quick strike, Bill, and there was almost your quick strike for Episcopal Academy thanks to the speed of Christian Feliciani.
Yeah, it looked like he had no chance of getting the corner without going out of bounds, and he tiptoed down the sideline and really found room there and made a great run. And I can't believe that LJ Barlow caught him. But there's two wrestlers facing each other on the football field.
5:48 remaining, Episcopal trailing 27-7, and we have what appears to be a penalty, a timeout.
Yeah.
Ford's called timeout. The defense does. They want to talk it over and maybe just catch their breath after that Feliciani dance
Matt.
down the sideline.
That's what I was thinking. They're just like, hey, look, we're back on our heels. Even if they score, if we can make them, take 3 downs to score and take another minute and a half off the clock before they do score, that would be a win right now. They got the ball at the 5, so, let's not
And you look at the replay here of the Feliciani run, Bill. He fought for that sideline, and he just ran down the field. And rather than staying down the sideline, he cut back towards the middle, which allowed Barlow the opportunity to track him down. You wonder if he would have stayed down the sideline and that straight path, could he have scored?
Now, you know what? There's a saying among the running backs that you get off the straight line because – if you stay on a straight line, someone's going to know where you're going to be 10 yards, 15 yards further down the field. So I think Christian was trying to just elude him a little bit and get off of that straight line, move over. I just think Barlow just caught him. I think Christian maybe was a little tired because he ran a distance before he got to that sideline.
First and goal upcoming for Episcopal, dropping back and firing his Wayland into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted once again. That's the second interception today by Ryan Wayland. And that's a huge defensive stand by Haverford.
That's Christian Jubilato making a play. Again, one of their better athletes, one of their better defenders, lined up man-to-man with Jake. And ill-advised pass, I think, by Ryan throwing the ball up in the air like that. So, boy, that really puts Episcopal in a big hole now, coming away with nothing.
And the fans beginning to flock out of Smith Field. That was a very back-breaking play for Haverford to convert against Episcopal there in the red zone. Poquet now gets it, and he's brought down and thrown down to the ground by Cody Russell.
I guess like I was mentioning, Matt, down on the first and goal on the 5, Haverford calls a timeout and says, look, maybe if we can make them run the ball twice and they don't get in and then throw, even if they score. So Episcopal knew that they had to score quickly. They couldn't afford to run 3 plays down there with the clock the way it is. So they just felt they had to throw the ball even on first down. Turns out didn't work out for them.
Burke in the backfield, single setback Poquet. You got trip wide receivers on the near side, and they're going to call timeout. Haverford didn't like what they saw, and it's a delay of game. They didn't get the timeout off in time. So it's a delay of game against Haverford, and that'll back them up even further.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 for them now, and you think 2nd and 15, ordinarily is a passing down, but I got to think they're going to keep the ball on the ground.
Burke in the backfield. Behind him is Poquet. Poquet takes the pitch off right guard, and he rumbles forward for about 3, maybe 4 yards. And that's going to bring up third and about 15.
Episcopal used one of their timeouts. Smart move. They got to get the ball. Whatever chance they have, they got to keep that clock stopped as much as they can. They're going to have to use their timeouts.
2 timeouts remaining for each team. Haverford leads 27-7. They've kind of controlled this game from an offensive standpoint for a majority of the game. If you're Episcopal Academy, you hang your hat on that touchdown pass from Wayland to Butts back in the second quarter, and you hope that if you can get a stop here, you get the ball back in the hand of your playmakers, be it Butts, be it Feliciani, someone to make a quick play, maybe get an onside kick, and then you're in business, but you're still down 3 scores.
You go back to Christian's long run and the fact that he did run a distance before he got to that sideline and probably was a little tired, but what a big play by Barlow to come up and keep hustling and keep after Christian and stop him at the 5-yard line instead of – it could be a whole different scenario here if Christian were able to take that all the way in.
On Sweater Day here at Smith Field, you can hear a pin drop in this stadium right now. The home crowd stunned by Haverford's display through the first 3.5 quarters. 4:52 remaining in the ball game. Burke in the backfield in the shotgun. He hands it off now and turning upfield with it and rumbling forward for about 4 yards. That'll bring up 4th down, and they'll punt it away. Episcopal takes their second timeout. And, Bill, they're going to need the quick strike on this series once they get the ball back, but they will get the ball back presumably with good field position, with Haverford backed up now inside their own 20 looking to punt it away.
Yeah, I think Haverford's last punt was where Episcopal showed a little bit of pressure and came, not real close, but you could see that they had a punt block on and, a couple steps more and they would have got it. So I'm sure they're probably going to send people on this. They can't afford just to field the ball and hope that their offense. I think they try to score here out of the kicking game and make something happen here.
4:45 remaining. Episcopal now will get the ball back on a punt. Back deep will be Christian Feliciani, and his breakaway speed on display on that last offensive series for the Churchmen. We'll see if he can break one loose and get this game back within reach for Episcopal Academy.
Yeah, there's just the one guy back, but that's typically what Episcopal does. Christian Feliciani back there, and I think they're bringing the rest of them pretty much.
Kick is away clean. Feliciani backs up. He'll field it at his 45 and fair catch it there. Feliciani makes the fair catch at the 44, and that's where Episcopal will take over, trailing 27-7 with 4:38 remaining.
Yeah, Christian, just a sophomore, does a fantastic job with those. He always fields the punt. He'll run up to field it. He'll go back wherever the ball is. He always gets over and gets underneath it, and a sure-handed receiver he is.
Episcopal takes over now, shotgun formation. Wayland Feliciani in the backfield along with him. Butts spread in the slot. They fire it to Butts on the near side. He's at midfield. Hurdles a defender, and then he's brought down at the 47-yard line. Picks up about 7. Athletic play there by Butts, but they have to keep this thing moving, Bill. They need to stay in that no huddle to have an opportunity to score and have enough time to get the ball back 2 more times.
Yeah, Evan going to Virginia, we're going to see him doing that at Virginia, just very athletic, just hurdling the guy. Either that or he's going to be tenacious playing defensive end.
Wayland drops back in the shotgun. He fires over the middle of the field, complete for a first down. That's hauled in by Michael Gelasso. Haverford appears to be in their prevent defense at this point in time, leading 27-7. Another first down for the Churchmen, and they're in the no huddle at the 40-yard line. Shotgun formation. It's Wayland in the backfield. In motion is Gelasso. He's flanked in the backfield there by Feliciani. Wayland surveying the defense. He drops back. He's looking, firing down the near side. He wants Gelasso, and he's intercepted again. Intercepted again is Wayland. That ball picked up once again by Solomon. Solomon having a monstrous game on the defensive side of the ball. 3 interceptions, a receiving touchdown for Solomon, and he's just been in the heads of Episcopal on both sides of the ball, offense and defense today, Bill.
Yeah, Philip Poquet and Brendan Burke have had great games, but you're right. I think Solomon's just been a force offensively and defensively, and a couple like the run that Doc's made was off a real nice block by Solomon also. So he is. He could easily be MVP of this in spite of the great play by Poquet and Brendan. But I think Brian Whalen had to take a chance. He's got that strong arm, and you kind of have to let one go and see if your receiver can make a play.
Poquet gets it there for Haverford on first down, and you're just going to see that with the clock ticking down. Tick, 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 down to 3:33 remaining in this game. If you're Haverford, Bill, why take any chances at this point? Just give it to Poquet over and over again.
Either that or fake it to him and just hold it on, hold on to the ball yourself where you don't even have to make a handoff, and just keep the ball in Brendan's hands, nice and secure. But, there's the ball off to Phillip again. Or is that, yep.
Poquet gets it again, and he's brought down for a loss. But at this point, Haverford seems more content, whether gaining yards or not, just to milk that clock down under 3 minutes to play here at Smith Field. And it looks like Haverford, if they hold on, they'll share the Interact Championship with Malvern Prep. Prep had that big win today, scoring 63 points.
Yeah, they'll share it with a team that they defeated in the season, and there's no tiebreaker in our league. But Haverford's got to feel good about that, certainly.
Burke now throws it along the sidelines. Kind of a reckless play there. Reception made by number 35, Tommy McNamara, and Michael Wilson with the stop there. 2:26 to go. And it looks like Episcopal took their final timeout.
So they throw the ball to Tommy McNamara. And just to give you an idea of the athleticism of some of these skilled people in the Haverford school, Tommy McNamara is a sophomore who is already committed to play college lacrosse at Notre Dame, who has a pretty good lacrosse program. So very athletic kids on both sides of the ball here. You know, there's a lot of these Episcopal kids will be back next year. They've had the taste last year of having a championship, undefeated season, and then maybe a disappointing finish, but certainly not a disappointing finish for not a disappointing year for the players from Episcopal. And they have a fairly young squad, so a lot of them will be back. Ryan Whalen will be back at quarterback, giving them there. Christian Feliciani, Jonathan Freeman and CJ freshman. So, but I guess the bad news is Haverford also has a lot of their players back too.
Both of these teams, along with Malvern Prep, figure to be mainstays atop the Interact standings for years to come. Burke now punts it away high, and over-end punt that'll hit at the 45, and there it is again, that AstroTurf roll on the artificial turf. It's drowned down at about the 36-yard line, and that's where Episcopal Academy will take over, trailing 27-7 with just 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this ball game, and they are officially out of timeouts.
Well, I'll guarantee you that Coach Todd Fairley and his staff does a great job with these kids, and there'll be no quit in them. They're going to finish these 2-12. They're going to continue to try to score. They're going to continue to work hard and do their best that they can.
Whalen now in the backfield, trips wide receivers on the near side, 2 on the far side. Whalen back, looking, and he fires it over the middle, and it's hauled in there by Cody Russell for about a 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. Barlow with the tackle there. He, of course, had that game-saving or touchdown-saving, at least, tackle against Christian Feliciani on that previous possession.
I'm sure Ryan didn't want to. That was like a check down. He probably didn't want to look for Cody, but Cody was the one that was open short. So
Whalen now, nice pass along the sidelines, and a better reception by Evan Butts, who came back to the ball and made a fingertip grab along the sidelines. And it's an Episcopal first down.
Great throw from Ryan. Put the ball where only Evan could get it, and a great grab, great hands by Evan.
1:30 remaining in the ball game. Episcopal now, bad snap. Whalen picks it up and he's running with it. Stiff arms one defender, but he's brought down, sacked for about a 2-yard loss. That play was broken from the beginning, Bill.
Yeah, it looked like, and probably because of the ball on the ground, it looked like Michael Gelasso was open for, what would have been a short game, but with the opportunity to run the ball.
And the Haverford students are storming off the bleachers and onto the Haverford sideline. They're waiting to celebrate a win over Episcopal. Whalen back, he's looking, fires along the far side of the field. It's complete, and moving up to the 45-yard line with it is Jake Martorelli.
Yeah, that was a quick little slant, little hook in, but it's short of the first down.
40 seconds remaining in the ball game. Episcopal Academy, 3rd and 2. Whalen now in the shotgun. He takes the snap. It's another low snap that hits the turf. He's rolling out. He fires to Russell, and it's complete. Excuse me, that's
Michael
that's
Gelasso
again with another reception. It's a first down for Episcopal with 23 seconds remaining, and them trailing 27-7.
Like I said, they're not going to quit. They're a well-coached team and well-disciplined, and you got to give Coach Fairley and his staff credit for what they've been able to do the last 2 years. But also hats off to Coach Murphy.
Well, and throws it complete. That's, again, Michael Gelasso, his new favorite target, but that'll do it. That'll wrap it up as the horn sounds and the Haverford students storm the field. Haverford wins a share of the Interact Championship. They defeat Episcopal today on Sweater Day at Smithfield, 27-7, and the Fords celebrate here, Bill.
Yeah, well deserved. Like I said, they're co-champs with Malvern, a team that they defeated early in the year. They got to feel good about that. Unbelievable job by Coach Murphy and his staff that they changed the offense. They took the risk to do that, changed their offense after the beginning of the season. Very hard-fought game, great game. Hats off to Coach Fairley and his staff also to even have them here. I think with their championship last year, they had the target painted on their back all year long by everyone because they stopped their undefeated string going. Very well-played game, intense game as usual, and great job by both squads.
Absolutely, and you have to applaud the effort of Michael Solomon, both with the touchdown reception on offense for Haverford and 3 interceptions on the day against Episcopal Academy. He was a game changer for Haverford. Big day for him, big day for his teammates. They win 27-7.
Yeah, you look at Philip Poquet and you hear that he's healthy and you expect a big game from him. Brendan Burke's been playing very well for them, like we mentioned, since mid-season, and out of the blue comes Solomon with just a fantastic game, catching, blocking, defending, interceptions, super job.
And of course, Bill, it's Sweater Day, but it's also Senior Day here at Episcopal Academy, and we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on the efforts not only today, but through the 4-year careers of a guy like Anthony Feliciani. 117 carries for 760 yards coming into today, 13 touchdowns. Feliciani's accomplishments not to be forgotten anytime soon. Cody Russell, again, part of that 3-headed monster in the backfield, and at linebacker, Russell with a big day today to put an exclamation point on his career. Evan Butts, you know the story. Committed to the University of Virginia. He'll be a Cavalier. You'll be watching him on Saturdays for years to come, all because of his strong effort here at Episcopal Academy. Bill Gallagher, any final thoughts here from Smithfield?
No, like I mentioned, I feel badly a little bit for the either one of these teams. Somebody had to lose, though, and on this day, Episcopal just couldn't handle the Philip Poquet, Solomon, Burke all at the same time, and a couple turnovers, but great season for both of these squads. Like I said, it's a shame somebody had to lose.
Interact co-champion Haverford Fords along with Malvern Prep. They top Episcopal Academy today, 27-7. For my partner Bill Gallagher, for Mike and Tom, did a great job producing this on Strive Network today. I'm Matt Lombardo. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy the rest of the season here on the Strive Network.